Zacharias.
Hero. Humpcast.
Humpcast, baby.
Welcome back, bitches!
Oh, bitches.
Mother dogs, I have missed you so much. Another exciting installment of the Sodak Humpcast is currently underway and brought to you. This week we picked up our first sponsor. We're very excited. Unfortunately, it is not Budweiser.
More to come.
And it's not Newport Reds, even though I shouldn't be smoking. It's none of these things.
It's all gold.
We're brought to you this week by Common Sense. The most excellent, as Bill and Ted would say,
Adventure.
Yes. Adventure of just an awesome gift shop.
They got cool
They got excellent books. I picked up a bunch of really cool literature there. They have awesome stickers and they have awesome local CDs there. They also have a little cup if you are trying to quit smoking like I was at one point. You can purchase one cigarette for $0.25, and it's called Donnie's Cig Cup. And if you don't want to buy a whole pack, go pick it up and say hi to Perry, and you can have yourself a cig for only $0.25.
I didn't know they had that.
They have that. They had to institute that.
Is that Donnie named after you, or is that?
It is. It is.
Oh.
It is.
Oh.
I'm just that special.
Dude,
Awesome.
next time different music though. Common sense would not approve.
Oh, Common Sense would definitely approve. They definitely would approve. Well, this week we've got Jake Carlson here, as usual, and we've got our special guest. Tell them who you are.
Andy Knichny. I play drums for Stay Lucky. First announcement ever. New bassist for Stay Lucky. Right here, this guy. So, be excited for some new recordings at the end of December.
27th. 27th, Cat House. And at the end of that session, so I would say we could probably have at least a couple of those tracks up that night, right?
I would think so. I would hope so.
So that's cool. I haven't played bass in a punk band in fucking a long time, man, since I was like 14, 15 years old. So it's a crazy return to having fun. But you go to school for...
I'm going to be a professional drug dealer. I'm going to be a pharmacist here shortly. Yeah, crazy shit. That's this guy.
So you're going to school. Where do you do that at again?
SDSU. Well, it's in Brookings, but like the last couple years, I'm in Sioux Falls doing working for free at hospitals, learning shit. You know,
part of what you have to do to become a pharmacist.
Jumping through hoop after hoop. Just learning what to do to give people the right drugs.
Yeah, dude. Make sure you give them the right drugs because
right drugs at the right time.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what it's all about.
So you play drums for Stay Lucky. How long have you been playing drums for?
I've been playing drums since like the 5th grade.
Long ass time.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really I learned how to play trap set in the 5th grade from. We actually had a pretty sweet instructor when I was in 5th grade. He was an awesome jazz musician, Preheim, and then the rest of high school I kind of picked up a few things. I had some decent teachers, but never really got into music that big until a couple of years ago. Honestly, I mean, I played.
You cared not much for it.
I cared not much for it. I mean, I did, but I never really took it too seriously or did anything too great. I mean, I had my cousin Brian that we jammed all the time growing up, and I really got serious about it a couple years ago and really started actually doing something with it.
Yeah, so Brian's your cousin, the guitar player.
Brian's my cousin who's the guitar player in Stay Lucky, Brian Hoffman. Yeah.
And you write a lot of the lyrics for the songs.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting.
It's just strange. I get that all the time. People.
That's awesome.
I heard Neil Peart did that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not to cut you out, but...
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I don't know. I can't sing worth a shit. I can't do a lot of things, but I don't know, lyrics. I think more drummers write lyrics than they get credit for.
You're a wordsmith.
I don't know.
That's cool.
I'm a wordsmith.
Well, hey, look at Dave Grohl. He was a fucking...
Yeah, Dave Grohl was a drummer.
Starting out, and then now Foo Fighters. I would imagine he still writes them,
Yeah, I don't know. I can write a paper in an hour and a half. I did that earlier today.
So that's cool. So that's a cool, you have to go to school for a long ass time to become a pharmacist?
6 years.
Damn.
Well, I figured I got to do 4 years for something. I might as well do an extra couple.
Yeah, and be that guy that has. Do you have to wear a white coat?
I got to wear a white coat. All fucking. I don't know.
Where are you thinking of doing pharmacy stuff?
I don't know, wherever I get a
Place that'll
job.
hire you.
Like,
So,
what, Lewis? Like, is that the same shit?
Yeah, that's like
Same
Lewis
shit.
Drug or like any hospital or
Okay.
like nuclear pharmacy or whatever you want to do.
Nuclear.
Yeah, it sounds badass. I really don't.
Nuclear.
It's-
Well, that's fucking badass. And fucking anything going on with Parietal fucking these days?
Well, we played that show. Okay.
Yeah, we did that show. We did the Wangoma benefit show. That was fun. There was
fun.
that was fun. I was a little disappointed with the turnout on it. You
Me
know,
too.
there was only like between 30 and 40 people that paid to get in, and then there was a couple people that were like, "Well, can you just let me in?" And it's like, that's cool. You know what I mean?
benefit
It's
show.
yeah, it's a benefit show. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, I've been there before. Like, if you're broke, you're broke. But like, don't come to me and say, you know,
Everybody else
all I
pays.
have is $50 and I don't want to pay to get in, because then I'm like, well, dude.
It's a benefit show.
Yeah, but you know, whatever. No hard feelings. I mean, it's like, it was a Thursday night. You know what I mean? It wasn't a weekend. Usually, like when we get like, you know, if you get 100 people to come to a show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that's a good show.
Yeah.
That's like, we consider that a good turnout.
Especially
right?
at Latitude, that place would have been sardines, dude. It would have been cool.
Well,
Although,
100
last-
people. Well, we had 90 at that CD release show, and
Yeah.
fucking like, I mean, it was pretty packed in there. You know what I mean?
We had a pretty decent turnout at both your CD release and our CD release. It was not bad.
I think any more than 100, it would actually be uncomfortable.
I'm pretty sure it's
Like,
against the
fucking-
fire
I think-
code for
Yeah,
that.
it is. I think the max
Like
they have is like
86 or
1
something. I don't even know.
But no, the show was cool. Everyone played great. Radical Burns fucking tore it up. Did you see that? The rap dude. You played fucking. I thought right.
Oh, Radical Birds?
Yeah, Radical Burns and
Oh,
fucking.
Burns.
Burns.
Yeah, I saw
Burns.
Radical Burns. That was cool.
Yeah, dude, that shit was good, and he's getting good. I saw him in Watertown before, and I don't think the sound was as good as at this show. So.
Yeah, that shit.
Congratulations, John. You had a fucking awesome set.
Dirty Dick.
Dirty Dick. Well, I didn't.
Dirty Dick Burns.
Dirty
That's what they should call
Dick
that
Burns.
We're gonna talk about cats yet.
We haven't talked about cats yet, but what we were.
But we're going real.
Oh,
Look
shit.
at that.
Look at that
On
fucking
command,
beast.
man.
On
He's a
cue.
beast.
No.
He's out of here.
It's toxoplasmas.
Yeah.
Fucking, or plasma or something, I don't know.
Plasmas.
But we were just sitting around talking about this fucking, this deal that fucking got passed where they can detain U.S. citizens without a trial, without charging with anything, which we all agree is fucking scary. Like, that's fucking scary. The idea that, you know, you're gone one day and that your family's putting up fucking posters that you're missing, and no one ever hears from you again, and the government has zero obligation to charge you with a crime or to notify anyone or do anything like. I mean, that is some scary shit, folks. And if that fucking doesn't disturb you, then I don't know what fucking will. Because the apathy.
Go watch 1984.
Well, it's mainly that apathy that's been holding everyone back. You know what I mean? Fucking, as Henry Rollins would say, from the 24-hour Ramones block party that we all could be having. You know, like we all could be having a much better quality of life if we could get past really silly shit. You know, things like marijuana being illegal, or things like fucking you know, this shit where they can just call you a terrorist and fucking just abduct you and fucking take you away forever. That shit is unacceptable, and like no one wants to do anything about it. Everyone wants to fucking act holier than thou, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the point of it was to cut out all the bureaucratic crap that goes along with trying to prosecute an actual criminal or terrorist, but the fact is you can't get rid of those laws, because now you have no protection for an average citizen who, you know, like we talked about before, like Martin Luther King Jr. type of shit like that.
Right.
That might not happen if you have no...
There's no way it would have happened. You know how much the government was pissed off at him? You know what I mean? Like, they would have tossed that guy in jail, any state, you know, fucking, if they didn't like him, they would, and, like, this is the most effective way to squash any kind of demonstration that you would ever want to put together, or any kind of, like, change you'd want to affect, or, like, you know what I mean, start building. I mean, if they can take out the players behind it, the people that are really the voice of those movements, then that fucking movement isn't going to go anywhere. And it's almost like Taliban, man. Like, fucking, like, they'll take you out, cut your head off in the street, and it's like, we'll see how many people want to fucking keep protesting after that shit happens. That's the fastest way to squash some shit. Oh shit, they're cutting everyone's heads off today. Well, maybe I won't make that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Scary stuff.
Not to
man.
sound like crazy, you know, conspiracy theorist or anything, but seriously, like, shit in the country is... Anybody can agree that it's at least steadily declining downward. And someday, if there needs to be a revolution, shit like this is going to stop it from happening.
Well, now you're sounding crazier and crazier. Revolution. Fuck.
The revolution.
Well, what, I mean, do you think there's do you think there's anything that we can do or that we could do or fucking, you know, like...
I don't really know. My plans are, if shit goes downhill, I'm just gonna move to, I don't know, Zimbabwe. I don't really have a plan.
Rats from a sinking ship, you're just gonna fucking just bounce it out.
You know, I think the major players in the country have already given up. I think half your presidential campaigns are won by money, and they're just there to get their own eggshell before they bid adieu.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's pretty fucked up, man. I mean, like, that's another thing that, like, people either don't want to acknowledge or they just, like I said, it comes down to them just being apathetic because they can still, like, they live in a country that they're like, okay, well, you know what, this shit isn't that bad. I can still get in my car. I can still drive to work. I can still fucking make money. I can still get by. You know, I see shit that I don't agree with, but I'm still living my life. You know what I mean? They're not impacted enough to where fucking, you know what I mean, they're going to do anything about it or even care or, like, spread, you know, any kind of movement or be a part of any kind of movement.
You don't want to take any risk to jeopardize what you have, you know. Yeah, that's...
I think that's the biggest problem, is that people are just either so comfortable and just complacent that, you know, they're just like, look, man, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. They passed this shit, I trust the government, or whatever their mindset is. Maybe they don't. It seems like that's what I run into the most, though, is people that are like, they feel so overwhelmed by the powers that's out there that they feel like there's just no way that I could ever affect a change on that, man. Look at how big and overwhelming this fucking shit is. Like, there's no way. I think I'll just, you know, get a job and fucking work hard. And I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a job and working hard. All I'm saying is that, like, people need to do something.
I think people get too caught up in their everyday life with you go to your job, you get home, you put your kids to bed, you do your fucking chores around your house, and then you know, watch TV or do whatever the fuck you do and then go to bed. You just repeat the shit. But you, like, spend so much time and effort, like, just paying for shit in the end that you really don't need. And you just, like, people are uneducated. They don't take the time to, like, actually read into most politics. They don't even know who the fuck they're voting for or what they're voting for. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that the election process has just become a giant popularity contest, really, in the end.
Well, I bought into it, man. I was really thinking. I mean, Obama really spoke very convincingly in his first fucking campaign, man. Like, I was like, wow, man. Like, I'm gonna vote for this dude just because I think maybe he could try and do something positive. You know what I mean about, you know, these superpowers that have emerged. You know, like, it's with technology and with time after the Constitution. It seems to me, anyway, that, you know, since that Constitution has been wrote and the history that I just see that the concentration of wealth and power has become so focused now that shit is starting to change, man. Like, a chronic masses are, you know, almost kind of starting to build. Bauer's pissed about it.
Yeah,
Jack doesn't fucking like it.
Really fucking pissed.
Jesus Christ, Jack.
I think one of the funniest things is...
Hey, dude, do you have a beer?
Yeah.
Did you get some?
I would also...
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool,
man. So do we cut this out, or do we just go get beer?
I think we're gonna keep it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what he's doing.
We're gonna grab beers. Be right back.
Cool.
Reboots. Sorry about that, folks. We got joined by Zach.
Hello.
We were running a little behind, but, you know, we were still trying to establish our start times. We're just getting this Humpcast going, folks.
Second annual.
Just be patient. Just be supportive.
Second.
Anyway,
Second
so
week.
as we're in the middle of talking about the scary shit where they can fucking arrest you and charge you, well, they don't have to charge you with anything. They can just take you away.
See, here, I want to put this out there before I forget.
Actually.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
messed up.
And they were talking about this actually for a while. They
They
were
were.
talking about doing this. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember back like fucking probably...
It was a temporary mandate
10 months
that they
ago.
were going to eliminate, and then they put a stop to eliminating it.
Well, I remember back like probably fucking... It was probably like 8 to 10 months ago or something like that. They were talking about this shit. And it scared the crap out of me. And then now I
What's
see
it
that
called?
he won it.
You guys are
Patriot
just
Act?
talking about. I can't remember.
It's not the Patriot Act. It's,
All I can say before I forget is that I hope that this shit, like, they're doing it for the actual
Well, the thing is, like,
good cause, but then again, you got...
it'll start off.
Well,
it'll start
hang on.
off as-
You
it'll start off as
asked what it
something.
was. You asked what it was,
Yep.
so I'll tell you what it is. It's Section 1021 of the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2012. And they like, put it into some budget fucking deal. Like, they snuck it by, like, somehow. And fucking the lawyers for Obama are fucking really sticking to it.
the thing is, it'll start off as something good. It'll serve a purpose.
Yeah.
That'll actually be maybe some real terrorists and some real good that it'll do. Then it'll just stick around like it always does. And in the end, it's a bad thing because if there ever needs to be some sort of revolt, say in the country, you know, it's not. It can't happen.
Well, the
because
bottom
the
line is
government-
it's
government
undermining the Constitution.
Yeah.
Because it eliminates habeas corpus. That's what everyone's upset about. They're all pissed about that.
Yep.
I'd be fucking pissed. Well, I am pissed.
I am already.
So the question is, what can be done? You know what I mean? Is anyone going to do anything about it?
Right.
Can anyone do anything about it? I mean, like, I guess what I would say
We gotta
is
see where it
start a
goes, but hopefully it's not
podcast,
too
yeah.
late by that time. I mean,
Gotta
I just
plan
don't know,
together.
man. I don't know.
it seems like protesting it would be a good idea. You know, I would say.
Or a very bad idea
Yeah.
for the individual.
Well, it's great until it gets passed. And then,
Well, you gotta wear masks, man. Shit, it's like you gotta wear masks. Okay, now here's the other fucked up thing. Are you aware that fucking they're not reading every single one of our emails? They're not reading all of our text messages. What I've heard is that they're storing that, and that they're saying it's not illegal to store the information, but they have access to it. Is
they're
the
just gonna
bottom
store
line?
it. They'll never-
You know what I'm saying? They're getting, they're circumventing, like, they're not saying, look, we're not listening to we're not reading all your emails. You know, we're not listening to your phone calls, we're not reading your text messages, we're just saving it. Well, if you're just saving it, then what's to stop you from going through any time in the future and...
What's the point of
And-
saving it
well,
in the first place?
Exactly. So why are you doing this? You know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? So then, like, it's kind of scary with the development of all this technology, like... I don't know, man. Like, I can't imagine they're like, yeah, I want to watch you beat off to your webcam. No, I'm saying, like, fucking, they have access to, like, if they ever want to crush you, if you ever become a big enough problem, they have access to where they could take anything that you've ever said out of context, or
Yeah.
they could really fuck you over with that. They've got your voice saying anything, so it's like, think about, like, you know what I mean? If they've got enough, like, syllables, they could make you say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they've got you saying, like, vowels and, like, every fucking... word, like with enough words, they could fucking like cut and paste them together and fucking make you say anything.
Well, you want to know something that really weirds me out is that you know how fucking even good CGI has gotten with even fucking video games and also with movies and stuff. You know, who's to say that they couldn't be fucking making artificial videos? You know what I mean?
Who's to say that they wouldn't fucking do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a ways down the road. I mean, we can figure that shit out now, what's fake and what's real, but...
Right, that we know of though. You know how fucking technology is always released to us, obviously way later. You know.
Yeah.
But also, like, you go see a movie and it can be a cartoon or whatever, but it can look crystal fucking clear. And I was actually playing a game called Max Payne 3 a couple weeks back, and I was watching where they had, like, a news thing on the game, right? Of course, on the game, so it's all CGI.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a news clipping of, like, a kind of a raid going on, but it was like a fuzzy camera, shitty, you know, simulating a shitty security camera, and I swear to God, it looked fucking real. I mean, and if you just tick that a little bit more, you can make it look completely real with the right filter, you know. So it's easy, sort of compensation.
That's fucked up, man. So I mean, I guess that's a problem anytime you have that much technology. Fucking, it's part of what the world we live in is like now, dude. It makes you fucking wonder. Makes you wonder a few things. Like, well, what if things were to continue along this fucking, you know what I mean, in this trend? If they continue in this fashion, where the fuck are we gonna be in fucking like 50 years even? I mean, it's really wild to think about. I can't imagine it. Virtual reality?
Absolutely, why not?
Wouldn't that be the next step? I mean, like,
I wonder if
you go to movies in 3D, what is that doing? It's recreating the fucking experience of being there. So wouldn't that be the next natural step? Like, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about smell-o-vision. I'm saying, like, you fucking go into that shit and it's like you check into a fucking different world and you're there.
Well, think about this. Like, you talk about 50 years ago and you talk to people and you explain to them how we now have people who literally just walk around with this device that you can talk to other people on, and they literally just, they don't look at the people around them, they just do this, and they walk into fucking water fountains and into traffic and get hit by cars, and people are like, that just seems really far-fetched and fucked up, but like it's another
real. It's real.
progression to like the lack of human interaction that's really interesting. Like I like to just stare people down when I walk around sometimes, just like not to be a dick, but just like like I see them from a distance and I see them looking straight ahead, and then I wait till I get to about 20 feet in front of them, and then I wait till like I try to figure out the appropriate time to like make eye contact and do the head nod thing.
Sure.
I guarantee if you're the only two people and like just try it yourself, like in a city block, and you're the only two people, and you see each other coming a block and a half off, I guarantee 50% of the time, by the time you get to them, and you get to that space where you should make contact.
You acknowledge them.
Howdy, partner.
Here's what happens. They're like, though I swear to God, they like pretend.
Maybe that happens to you
They
a lot.
pretend to text.
Maybe it happens to you a lot because you're staring them down. They're so uncomfortable that they're like,
I try to
creepy guy walking towards me. I think he could kill
He's
me.
gonna stab me if I don't come back.
Looks like a pharmacist or something.
But seriously, like people get so awkward with that, like face-to-face contact. They don't have like a filter where they can receive a message, think about what they want to say,
Yeah.
and then respond with the perfect response. They don't like that instant time.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
That's all right. That's fine.
But
It happens. It's just
Yeah, that's what we
wheels
do. We
turn.
kind of, yeah, you'll find that
Budweiser,
on the Humpcast
I
here.
don't-
We're gonna take lefts and rights. They're gonna deviate pretty far away, so that's all right. That's what we kind of like to do. That way we don't have to stay on the
good
same
because I
topic.
don't like it.
But no, it is. I know exactly what you're talking about. If you're walking down the street and there's only one other person, you're not gonna like stare at them in the eyes the entire time that you're going towards them, unless you're planning to attack them.
Yeah. Well, I'm not
Or
like
you're scared of them,
Yeah.
or like there's got like
I
I just
just
kind of
make a-
I see them and then I kind of look around and kind of walk in, and then
or
when I get close enough,
something so interesting.
good day, sir. You know what I mean? I just give them the
Yeah.
head nod or hello,
Yeah.
and that's it. You know, it's like there's no need to be weird about it, Andy.
Well, I'm not like fucking like walking a mile away.
Point at them
I'm
as you walk by.
Like I just notice them, and then I just wait and wait till eye contact until the appropriate moment, and then they're always like oh, or I'm looking this way. Like I don't know.
That happens a
People do
lot.
it. Watch.
Speaking of things that have
People
nothing to
watch
do with
it.
each other, this fucking this guy I caught out of my peripheral vision. I went to Cleveland for like 3 weeks. The biggest one was be careful, and I always thought that was such an odd. When I asked one of them, I was like, what's the deal with everyone saying that? You know, like. And they're like, well, first of all, when I went out there, did you hear about this killer in Cleveland who buried a bunch of people in his yard and fucking had a bunch of fucking like shit like that?
That's weird.
You didn't hear about that?
Mm.
They found this dude. They found a serial killer like the week before I fucking flew out there. And I'm like
a name, like a serial killer name, like the Cleveland Killer or something cool.
probably. He took out a bunch of people though. He had like between like 6 and fucking 9 people or some shit like that they had found so far that were like buried in his yard and all this fucking really like gross shit. Anyway, so I was like, is it about that? And they're like, no, that's how we fucking talk around here, I guess. You know what I mean? Like fucking they're like, be careful.
It's like like you said, or see you later, or whatever, or how we.
Well, anyway, I was out there for 3 weeks, and I got to experience some really cool shit. I got to see Dying Fetus at this club and fucking meet them and fucking ran around, had a good time, fucking had a pretty good time. And fucking the last night I was there, I was waiting, and I fucking had an hour. Their bars are open until 3 o'clock there. I had an hour to kill because the subway was going to open at 4, and I was going to go to the airport and wait for my flight at 6. So I was there, and I was under the influence of the beers and the Mary J. And I was staring up at this fucking skyscraper like an idiot, looking like a total tourist. I had fucking $500 in my fucking back pocket. And fucking, I'm kind of baked, and I'm looking at this fucking thing, and out of my peripheral vision, I see the dude in the fucking gray hoodie, and he's there, and like next thing I know, he's fucking walking right up to me, and I'm like, fuck, I should go. But at the same time, I didn't want to fucking exude a bunch of panic because I didn't want this guy to like attack me as I was walking away. So I just fucking stood my ground. And like he walks up to me, and he's like, "My man," I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "How long you been in Cleveland for?" I'm like, "About 3 weeks, man." And he's like, "Cool, check it out. I'm gonna rap for you." And he fucking is like, "I kill motherfuckers every single day. I'll fucking rob your money, leave you in the alleyway. Give me your fucking money right now. Hand me your fucking wallet over right now." Like fucking like going up, like fucking saying this shit. And so I got hit with panic. I mean, it felt like I could feel it. Fucking just hit me, man. Just fucking hit me. Bucket of fucking water. Panic. And so I figured, well, what would you do in that situation?
I'll be like, do I blast him or do I just fucking, what do I, yeah. I don't know. I mean, as far as, do I hit him or do I just, I don't know.
Do I blast?
I had a couple.
I whip out my gap.
Okay,
get this fool.
I didn't have a get. I'm just curious. What would you do in that situation?
I'll probably
you just gotta say, I'm sorry, brother, keep on walking. Like, seriously?
Well, let me finish my story then.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is what I did. This guy's rapping. And so I act like it's like the sickest rap I ever heard in my life. I'm like, oh shit. Go.
Right.
I'm like, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I fucking just like, kind of like stops. He kind of stops and he looks at me like, are you stupid? Like he's kind of looking at me like, don't you understand? I'm trying to rob you. I'm like, your shit's good, dude. I'm just making shit. I'm like, dude, I'm from Minneapolis, man. I got friends that fucking are involved with rhyme sayers. Fucking, they could fucking hook you up with fucking some recording. Fucking, I'm flying out tonight, man. I can fucking give him your information. And he's still looking at me like, you're retarded, aren't you? Right?
You could just play this like,
but
just pretend you're that.
He's still looking at me, and then he's mentally disturbed. Like he was trying to rob me, but he's trying to do it in a weird way. So then he's like slips into his fucking tweaker like weirdness, and he's like, there are 3 Marshalls. There's Mathers, there's Marshall, and there's Eminem. I'm like, oh really? Okay. Like I'm listening to him, fascinated, fucking like, okay. I'm like exploring this guy's dementia. He starts talking about weird shit.
So this guy needs drugs.
And as this guy is babbling about some, it was weird shit. Like that was part of what he said. There are three Marshalls. There's Marshall, there's Mathers, and there's Eminem. That's what he says to me, and I'm like, okay. And as he's saying this shit to me, here comes the cop, rolling about 1 mile per hour, staring at both of us. I'm like, well, gotta go. See you later. Took my shit and fucking walked and fucking went into the fucking subway station.
I'm getting mugged. That's your opportunity.
No, dude, I was like, to see you later. I was able to go into the station. They had security guards and shit in there. You know what I mean? I could have been in there in the first place. I was just stupid. Like, I was like, I'm half a block away from there. What's gonna happen? Some guy's gonna come up and rob me?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So that was kind of a weird experience. I was able to weasel out of it by manipulating this poor freak. This tweakhead that was weird. But I asked a couple friends, what would you do in that situation? Like, man, I'd blast that fool right in the face. It's like, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could have fucking walked out of that. I'm just saying, dude, like, if you were threatening him, I could see if you had a knife on him or, you know what I mean? Like, I had no idea what was in his hoodie. He could have had a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if he's got a gun and I blast him in the face, what do you think his reaction's going to be?
Yeah.
He's going to fucking shoot my ass and leave me right on the fucking street in Cleveland, dude. That's what he's going to fucking do.
Yeah.
I heard this, like, really cool story. It's like, I didn't hear it that long ago, and it's one of those Facebook things, so it's probably fake. But the whole premise of the thing is this guy's getting mugged, and he's like, I need your wallet. And he's like, all right, well, why don't you take my jacket, too? And the guy's like, what the fuck? You know, like, oh.
It looks cold out.
And it was one of those things, well, it's fucking cold out here. You don't have a jacket, and you obviously need this money more than I do, so here you go.
Fucking reverse
and the guy just, like, the guy just stood there for a while. He's like, how about this? How about instead of robbing me, you let me go in here. It's like a Subway right next door. He's like, I'll go buy you some lunch. So they sit down, supposedly, and, you know, buys the guy's lunch. The guy gives him what was in his wallet, like $50, and says, you know, take care of yourself, man. But, like, you know, I don't need to hurt anybody.
But don't do that shit.
I don't know if that,
don't ever do that.
like, I'd like to believe that actually happened. I don't know. But you can kill people with kindness. I don't know.
Don't you? Well, yeah. I think you're
9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. But
well, I think it depends obviously on that individual that's robbing you. Because
really
if they're in fucking a position, if they're desperate enough to try to rob someone, first of all,
that's my thought too.
They're probably not going to have the patience to sit down and have lunch with you. Their priority is to get as far away from you as possible, so they don't go to jail, and to get drugs. So that would be my guess. I mean, what other motivation would you have to rob someone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like in your case, that guy probably just needed drugs. Like that was his deal.
I think anyone that's out robbing people, unless they're there
Well,
for
I mean,
the giddy thrill of robbing someone, I guess
just,
that's your thing that you like to do. I don't know.
Yeah, people who think they're gangsters, or people who just like lost their fucking job and the family's going hungry, so they need to go fucking rob people.
Either way, it's out of a desperation. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you can reason with them, maybe you can't. I mean, like,
I don't know. I think half of those people are just like would be decent people, but they're just put in shitty situations where they make bad decisions rather than going the tough way about it. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate how poverty seems to affect certain segments of society a lot more than others. You know what I mean? And how people can get a really bad perception of those people. You know what I mean? Of anyone that isn't white or even is. You know, this guy was white that robbed me, but I mean, like, I don't know, like, Smoker Fire had this lyric that was pretty cool. It's like, it's true that there's a color divide. It's not black and white. It's green. You know what I mean? Like, that's the color divide, dude. It's like people that have and people that have not. And whether or not you were born into a position where, yeah, your family had money, they worked hard for it, that's fine. But you do have to acknowledge at some point the playing field wasn't level. And it wasn't a long, long time ago. It was like within
The
2 or 3 generations ago at the most.
The playing
200
field-
years ago, slaves were running around all over the fucking place.
The playing field has never been level. Life has never been fair. I mean, that's...
Life has never been fair, but there are people that have been clearly exploited in this country in particular.
Absolutely.
Native Americans and African Americans and fucking, Oriental folks and shit like that were working on the railroads. Like, this whole country was built on the backs of fucking immigrants that were coming here. But there had to be someone running the show at some point, you know what I mean? Like, that is part of history. There's been slaves of all kinds all over the fucking world, obviously.
Yeah, but that's the story of America, though. You have, like, one underclass who gets shit on for long enough until they build up enough spite and enough momentum to finally... We still going?
Yep.
Overcome whatever they started with. Like when the Irish first came to this country, like, we talked about them like they were animals and they were just insuperior or whatever, and... You know,
Sure.
That's gone now. I mean, they overcame that. They
overcame that, yeah.
I don't know.
But I
always
mean,
just
all I'm
underclass
saying is that
things.
as a whole, like, okay, so, we can't change the history. We can't.
No.
So there's no way of going back and changing
well, you
that.
can,
But
you just change the textbooks and then people don't know.
that's not changing history, Andy.
Well, I'm not saying I agree.
I'm
with
saying
you.
there's
I'm
no
just
way
saying
to go back in
happens.
time and to stop what already has happened, And so, like, we're trying to give people a hand up and make the playing field level at this point. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal. It seems that a lot of people are striving for. But the problem is so much of a concentration left over from that time that it still affects everyone, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's starting to be not even a fucking race thing at all. It's just people. Yeah, no, I mean, like, fucking, it goes beyond fucking color lines at this point, I think, because of the corporations and fucking the concentration of wealth and the way that they control our fucking politicians and, the way that they're fucking up, I mean, look at Obama. I mean, can you believe that fucking guy of all people, single mom, fucking dude, is gonna go out and fucking fight to detain U.S. citizens without fucking their proper fucking rights? That's shocking, dude. That's fucking...
I don't know.
It's
Part of the
ridiculous.
bureaucratic process. Like, he has to vote for that or he loses all of his support in the House. I don't know how it works.
Boy, I don't know. It's pretty fucked up. I was down at the casino. Speaking of being racist, which apparently I don't know how I am. But some idiot out there that watches this podcast will be like, that guy's a racist. I was at fucking the Executive Casino on 30 fucking second, and I walked in and fucking they had modern country music playing on the radio, which they usually never do. And there's like one kid and one lady there. And this kid's like a new kid. I'm like, what's up with the country, man? I was like, dude, I will give you $5 to turn this off. I told him that. $5. And he's like, okay. And I was like, I assume that meant that the other lady that was in there was into it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. He's like, I could turn it down. I'm like, that'd be great. And fucking, so he turns it down. And this lady fucking gets up and walks out. And she's like, fucking Spicks, I hate him. That's what she fucking said word for word, dude. I was like, what? It was awesome. It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life. And then after that, he was able to turn that music off, which was great. He's like, yeah, I didn't want to turn that off because she was really into it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty weird, huh?
Yeah.
Very cool.
She seems like a nice lady.
Seems like she seems like a nice lady.
She thinks my tractor is not sexy.
I drove a tractor once.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I used to work on a ranch. Not even kidding.
Where were you ranching?
Cows and shit.
Cows and shit.
That's what I did during high school during the summers. We stayed at my uncle's and drank and
Hung out with cows?
like drove a tractor and four-wheeler around and did that whole ranching thing.
Oh.
It was awesome, dude. I made bank as a high school kid.
She cared not much for me.
Not much.
What else is going on this week with Nickelback? We haven't really had a chance to check up on that. You want to pull up and see what's going on with Nickelback this week? I'll do it.
I thought they just get.
Have you guys heard about anything like going on with them?
No, all I know is they just keep getting booed at all their shows. What's going on? Is there like a
What?
thing in that? Well, I don't know. Like every headline that I've heard from them in the last year has been, "Oh, Nickelback gets booed at so and so show, and then they stop playing." That's all I know.
What? Really?
That's happened at least 3 times that I've seen. You guys haven't seen this?
No.
No, but
Maybe
that's
share
fucking
these stories.
awesome.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
go
yeah.
to that just
Like,
to
they've been
participate in the booing.
Pretty decent.
Like
shows.
that'd
That's
be fun as
mean.
hell.
And I'm not gonna lie, okay, so I'm gonna put myself out there and just sound like a giant asshole for a second. But you take their first couple albums and you take
no.
maybe no, just I'm gonna
Oh,
fucking
no.
I'm gonna fucking say it. You take that first album, you take one song. Maybe there's a couple on there. You pick one song. You just take one song. You don't look at their albums. You don't look at them as people. You just take one song and you just listen to it. And you're like, you know, whatever. They're mediocre. They're not. I don't hate them, but it's just the collective of them being who they are and album after album of the same type of shit. But I will say, if you only ever heard one Nickelback song, just one song, you might not hate them as much as you do. I'm not a fan.
Here's-
not
here's-
saying that at all.
Here's the deal.
But
This is the latest news and updates on Nickelback. Nickelback is out. They're back out on the road, bringing their Here and Now world tour to Australia. That's right. They used their airport time in Perth to answer fan questions, and they're doing some stuff like that. Any chance you guys are coming back to Europe next year? You think they're gonna go?
What do you say?
they
Okay.
got booed in Europe.
Big chance. So there's a big chance. I hope you guys are following this. There's a big chance they could be in Europe. What's a song you wish you had written? Ask at Miss Becca.
Any of ours.
Wish I wrote Every Breath You Take. Police wrote so many gems.
That's a good one.
That's good. It's a good one. He
You're
wishes he
watching
wrote
it.
that. It's an even better question. Which song do you wish you had wrote?
Me? Oh god.
Yeah. Well, but that's pretty much all the updates. I could go through some of these questions. They look
Wait,
pretty
wait,
great.
Boom Boom Bomb by Free
Oh,
Fest.
never mind. Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, bomb. Yeah, it's, you know, but so it sounds like they're going to be in Australia. So if any of you guys want to go to Australia, I hate you, and I don't like you.
How much is a T-shirt?
$80. You get a free leather.
$6,000.
You get a free leather wrist.
They're $7,000 a shirt, but they're really high quality.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing, man. I think that this information that we were talking about earlier is so fucking disturbing that someone should maybe do something about it, maybe protest. What do you think?
No comment at this point.
Right. You don't want to fucking. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to go to jail forever.
Fuck.
I'll be the fucking guy that'll go to jail forever. You know why? Because fucking that's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
I think we should
dude.
riot in the streets.
I disagree. I think we should fucking go to the Homeland Security building that's down by fucking the Country Inn and Suites, and fucking hold signs that say fucking we don't approve of this fucking shit that's going on. And I also think we should go to fucking Thune's office downtown that's over by Wiley's, and fucking demonstrate there.
There's an office by Wiley's?
Yep. Right up fucking around the corner. I've pissed on it many times. Fucking, I think we should protest there. I think we should protest any elected officials. We have Johnson, anyone, and fucking say, why are you not pissed off about this? Are you not an elected official of the fucking U.S. government? Are you really just gonna sit back and watch them shit on our fucking rights?
The thing is, it's like a game. It's a shitty game. Like, anybody who opposes something like that just gets shunned from politics for the rest of their career. Like, it's a shitty, shitty game.
Well, no, they don't get shunned from politics. What happens is fucking the money that's behind them will disappear.
Well,
Because they're
that's
not
part of
keeping-
the game, man.
Well,
It sucks. Like, the whole system's kind of fucked because you can't stand up against something like this because you get blackballed. It's a fuck. I don't even know what to do.
Doesn't that get back to what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that kind of apathy, that kind of attitude that says, well, shit, man, they got way millions of dollars to fucking influence all the fucking media and everything else that's around. There's no way you can stand up to it. You're right. One person cannot do that by himself. If there's enough of a collective consciousness between a bunch of people, that's how shit changes. That critical mass changes, dude. I mean, that's basic sociology 101, dude, is that fucking... The only time that critical mass will happen is when either the most fucking uppermost, fucking most influential people, it doesn't have to be millions of people, it can just be a fucking very few elite that can influence what we see. You know what I mean? They're influencing millions of people.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are calling the shots, but the other side of that coin is, if enough people are able to wake up and see past that, then that's how change happens. And you see progressive movements like fucking in California and other places that, you know, they're, what are the two states that legalize weed? Washington and Colorado, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, and they were shocked that
Shocked that it happened.
that so
I
many
never thought I'd
shitheads
see
in
it
California that they weren't able to do it in California. Like that's retarded. But it shows you that in our lifetime we were able to see fucking weed legal.
Yeah, I never thought
We
I'd
can
see
go
that.
to either one of those fucking two places and smoke weed legally. That is terrific. Even though there is that contradiction with the federal fucking government.
Yeah, it's still a Schedule 1 drug.
But it's still a major fucking step forward for common sense. Not our sponsor. But I mean just
also our
also
maybe I don't know.
Yeah. No, but I mean just for fucking what I mean, just ridiculousness everywhere. Like that just shows you an example of what can happen. I mean, like imagine if all the states did that. You would think that the federal government and the fucking the elected officials would be like, that would be their cue to be like, oh well, maybe we should rethink about how we're gonna attack this issue. Because guys like Mitt Romney, they fucking straight up will just. There's no, there's no fucking two ways about it. They're gonna support fucking keeping that shit illegal. Don't question it. He was asked directly about it, and he's just like, I support the. Yeah, he said it's an illegal drug. I support it being illegal. He didn't give a fuck, and it's like, come on, man.
Well, I highly doubt Barack Obama gives a shit whether weed's legal or not on a personal level.
He supposedly was on the NORML list, the National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Law, and supposedly one of his things was that he was like, the federal government is no longer gonna fucking shut down any more dispensaries, where it's legal. That's what he said, but that didn't happen.
I think it's good.
Politicians lying? What?
No, Obama never.
Can you
lied to
believe
anyone.
it?
I'm gonna piss.
All right.
Take a piss break.
Bladder's gonna burst.
What's up, guys? Thanks again for sticking with us through the Humpcast. We really appreciate it. This week we lost some very good people. And Skip, you were a great bartender. You fucking, you drove a great Corvette, and you were just the shit, man. And you and your brother supported a lot of really good bands upstairs, and we wish you the very best on the next level where you're at. On another note, we lost a fellow musician from the acoustic act Caving Banks. His name was Connor.
Connor Notaboom.
There you go. We lost him as well, so we fucking grieve the passing of our fellow musicians. This is the riff of the week.
Wish I wrote it. I always fucking forget this part.
Are we recording now?
We are. We're closing out the fucking...
Oh, we are? Oh, shit.
That's why I was...
I didn't even know. My bad.
I didn't like
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, Zach didn't like it. That's fine. Zach didn't like it.
Actually, the band, CKY, that's a CKY song. Yeah, the dude who wrote that, the singer who does the guitar, he fucking quit.
He quit?
What?
He quit CKY, dude. I found out he did that last year. And there's
Really?
there's nothing on the internet I could find out, like, why.
Wow.
Yeah.
That guy probably was, like, super influential in that fucking band.
Oh, absolutely.
That band was super guitar-driven.
Yeah.
Sick-ass band. Awesome band. So, yeah, again, we're very, we're trying to remain in high spirits here on the Humpcast, but we did, have some great disturbances in the music force this week. And not only that, we're talking about fucking people getting thrown in jail and charged. It's scary shit, man. It's scary shit, folks. It ain't always fucking unicorns and rainbows. There's fucking bad shit out there too. There's bad people. You know what I mean? And we need to stick together as a fucking music community and really support each other. Your fucking friend's band doing really well is not a threat to you. That's, you know what I mean? Unless they're a total douche, they're under obligation to give back to the music community that they're in.
Yeah, we had a couple big hits this week, for the music community in general. We got, was it Phil? I didn't get to know him personally, but
Just Skip. He was the
Skip.
main bartender down at Phil's Pub.
Phil's Club.
Yeah,
And
he was
then,
there.
yeah, Connor Notaboom from Caving Banks, and we played a couple shows with those guys. Always great guys to play with, just genuine people. It's rough to see stuff like that happen, but you know, keep moving on, keep playing music like they want us to.
Well, again, like I say, I mean, I think the biggest part is that, you know, to all the musicians out there, I mean, we're all musicians in this room, and that's mainly what this ridiculous Humpcast represents, is musicians. And I think that people need to stick by each other, dude. It's like I was saying, man, like, if your band gets fucking big, you should feel obligated to fucking help out your other musicians and book shows and have them fucking play with you. You know what I mean? If you get label support, don't just fucking run away and be like, fuck that place, you know what I mean? Or it's like, you know, the better each one of us does, the better it is for all of us. And so just kind of keep that mindset. It's like almost no one thinks like that, it seems like. You know, it's always a competition, but I think with more unity, we could see more venues do really well.
Yeah.
And we'd have more turnouts to our shows, you know what I mean? Every show would be a Soul Crate show. And fucking, you know, I would like to see that, you know. So, any other thoughts, guys, for this week's Humpcast?
Not for me, man. Have a good one. Or
Jakey's tired.
be safe.
Yeah.
Jakey
Be
says
careful.
be safe.
Be careful.
Be safe, be careful. Any words from you, Andy?
I got nothing.
Thanks for fucking coming on here.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah,
for having
yeah.
me on this thing.
Yeah, we really
I
appreciate
don't know,
you
I
fucking-
didn't watch the previous show before I came on, so I didn't know.
It's
what
pretty
to
much the
expect,
same
so-
thing, man. It's a bunch of guys just yammering about fucking nonsense. You know what I mean? It's yeah, we're
I
just
gotta
talking
ask
about our
you-
lives. We're just talking about our lives and shit like that. You know what I mean? Fucking.
Hey, I got a free beer or two.
Yeah,
I think I
absolutely,
owe you
yeah.
some. I think I owe you
Yeah,
some.
and for all of our friends out there, again, you know, we want to thank our sponsors, Common Sense. If you're looking for a really interesting book, stuff that they don't really have around town, definitely go check that out. They have awesome posters and stickers there. Fucking make sure to stay safe, like Jake said, and take care of each other. If you're interested in this podcast or in this Humpcast, make sure to share it with your friends. Share it with your buddies, and just come on the show. We're always looking for people around Sioux Falls and other locals. And I guess that would be about it for me. Zach, any final words of wisdom this week?
That's it.
Hey, if you mention the Humpcast,
Goodbye, folks.
5% off.
Thanks again. We'll see you next time. There's Jackie. Hey, Mia.